is how to get wireless cards working on the Raspberry Pi. It's taken me a little bit of time to get this ready because the Raspberry Pi uses an ARM CPU, and not all USB wireless dongles are compatible with ARM. You have to find a specific driver that has been written for the ARM kernel. There is a list online, which is this website here, which contains a really good list of peripherals that are supported on the Raspberry Pi, or do at least work on the Raspberry Pi. However, the video that I've created is going to be any wireless cards that work with this particular chipset. So when you're looking to buy a wireless card, you need this particular chipset, because this is a largely used chipset in lots of different wireless cards. However, I recommend that you get this one, firstly because it's under £10, and secondly because it's very, very cheap, small, and you know, it fits really well with the whole small form factor of the Raspberry Pi. So there's a gentleman on the Raspberry Pi forum whose username is there, and a link to the post he put, and he's created an automated bash script which will go through a wizard. It will download the correct kernel drivers, and it will basically go through a wizard and ask you what your SSID is and so on, of how to set up your wireless card. If you want to know a bit more information about that, go to that link, read up there. However, I'm going to show you the process that he outlines and provide you with a link to the script, which is this link here, which you get from my Google Share, where all my documentation is stored. But obviously his link has the originals. Mine is just the most recent up-to-date ones. Okay, so once you've downloaded the wireless script onto your laptop or whatever, feel free to download this to your Raspberry Pi, like however you wish. I generally tend to use WinSCP, so load up WinSCP. I'm going to transfer this into the /var/temp directory, and then I'm going to copy it across from there into my /home/pi directory. So you see me just copying it across here. Once this is done, I'm going to open up an SSH session using PuTTY to my Raspberry Pi. Notice that I'm going to use the IP address with the last octet of .8, which is my physical RJ45 Ethernet cable, and not my wireless card. You're going to need this to give you access to the internet for it to download those kernel driver, those ARM kernel drivers that we've been talking about, and that's part of the installation process. So cp/var/temps / the name of the installation script, copy it to there. They're going to change the permission so we can make it executable. Chmod 777, which is like massively overkill, but you know, it'll do the job. Okay, sudo // to run the installation script. Okay, so at this point here we get the instructions about what we can do, so feel free to read through that. But if this was the first time you've done it, ever used it before, just hit enter, and we'll be able to see that it hasn't actually got anything configured at this point in time. So go ahead and hit enter, and there we go. We can see it says you have 0 Wi-Fi adapters configured. Okay, so it's now going to ask us what type of wireless network are we connecting to. I'm going to click A, select A, which is WPA2, which is my network. It's going to then ask me for the SSID, which is home Wi-Fi. That'll be whatever your network broadcast, the name of your network, wireless network. It's then going to ask me for the password for my wireless network. Okay, so I'm going to type in the ultra secure password. That's obviously whatever yours is. And it's going to ask me to confirm that. And now it's going to go through the process of configuring and installing some of the necessary drivers and so on that are required for this installation. Once it's finished, or got to this point, it will ask us to plug in the wireless adapter. So, okay, we get our little adapter, and we go over to our Pi, and we plug it in, and it's going to wait for the adapter to start flashing the lights, so we know that it's actually working and talking to the Pi's hardware. Okay, so we go back and we hit enter. Now we have that flashing light on the Pi, and it's now going to go and configure that adapter. It takes a little bit of time. Okay, so now hit Control C to cancel out of this session. We don't want to hit continue. Do not hit continue. Hit Control C, and we've now lost our SSH session to the Raspberry Pi. So you also notice now that we have been given an IP address. So you can see there it says WLAN 0, and it's given us the IP address of 10.50.0.5. So if we open up another, so first of all, let's see if we can ping the device. So open up a command prompt and ping 10.50.0.5. There we go. That's the IP address that we've been given. Great stuff, we know it's there. And let's open up another PuTTY session and make an SSH connection to 10.50.0.5. Well, that's my IP address in my network. And there we go. That's a connection to your Raspberry Pi over wireless. I hope that works for you guys. Quick tip, if you use the command more slash etc slash networks slash interfaces and view the interfaces file, you can see there that the SSID and the password for your network is stored there. You can change it if you want to change networks.